It's time to get some answers, baby. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality Radio. I am your host, Global Happiness Specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington, Inner Peace Practitioner. I'm going to throw in Oracle, but most importantly, a student. Just like all of us, just a student that is always learning, always growing, expanding, awareness, consciousness. Oh, it's never ending. This journey of learning, especially when you make a choice to stay open to all different types of perspectives and possibilities. Oh, it's endless. But before I go and give you a little background about the show and who the hell is Rebecca Norrington, happiness specialist? Who does she think she is? It's impossible. Happiness, I don't even like that word. I just want to share that I am live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. And by the way, that YouTube channel is progressing very nicely. Like and subscribe. Also, I am live on Noom Vibe. So if you want to join the show, actually, last week I had someone join the show, and all this gentleman could do was scream at the top of his lungs and spit out. Was there expletives? Letting the expletives fly. It doesn't matter. All I need to do is just block and keep it moving. But welcome to the show. And today's topic is something that I've been practicing lately nonstop. And when I say happiness specialist, what does that even mean? That means, for me, if you ever Google it's a very famous study. It's called The 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying. It was done by a hospice nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware. Anything that I say, you can Google. And she asked her patients who had days, weeks, months left to live, what are your 5 biggest regrets? What are your 5 biggest regrets? Can you imagine? These people are on their deathbed. In fact, let's take it even further. You have 1 more week to live. I have 1 more week to live. Not leak to live. Not leak to live. Week to live. Woo! Last night was a different experience. Okay, backing up. 5 most common regrets of the dying. What would your regrets be if you knew that you only had a week to live? I'm going to have to say that I've gotten to the point right now where it would be impossible to come up with an answer. 0 regrets. Having regrets is another program. And we're going to be talking a lot about programming and what does that even mean. But back up. The 5 most common regrets of the dying. Number 1, I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work that hard. I wish I didn't work so hard. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Well, sometimes we outgrow people. And number 5, I wish I had let myself be happier. when I talk about happiness, I'm focusing in, narrowing in on a personal vibration, a personal energy of contentment. That word happy has been getting such a bad rap, and I'm going to clarify it by saying being an energy of contentment, vibrating an energy of peace at all times, regardless of what the world throws at you, regardless of what happens, and regardless of what doesn't happen. And that encompasses death, health, money, relationship, all the things that that are all of the external things that have been programmed to that scratch that I have been programmed to believe that this affects my vibration. Having someone not call me or not recognize my birthday, or let's get even more serious. When I say serious, I'm talking about the programmed idea of serious. Even if there was some type of health challenge, which I've had a lot in the last few years, can I maintain a vibration of contentment? And the answer is yes. With practice. The good news is happiness is a practice skill. Inner peace is a practice skill. Contentment, maintaining contentment is a practice. And all I'm doing on this little show is sharing what to practice. Again, if you want to speak with me live, I have a few people in the queue. Area code 856. I'm going to get to you in just a little bit. Thank you for calling in. Hang in there. So the number to call in is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619, and press the number 1. Again, you can look at the show live on my YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington, and I am live on Noom Vibe. Now, so I'm a little gun shy. No, I'm not. If you want to join the show, you know what to do on Noom Vibe. Just ask to join the stage. Yay. And if you start screaming and shouting out expletives like what happened last week, I'll just click you off and block you. Simple. It's not personal. I've got a show to do. Let me just share a couple more things. Oh, every Saturday morning, I do a live show with my son. It's called Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. I highly recommend it. It's 9:15 every Saturday morning on YouTube and also on Noom Vibe. It is 9:15 Pacific Standard Time. Okay, now let's get into, wait, hold on a second. I'm looking at my notes here, because if I don't look at my notes, I will forget. Okay, let me just go back to this happiness. When I talk about happiness, again, it is a state of mind. It is a state of being. It is consistent. It is constant. It is never, oh, it's here today and now it's gone. Oh, I feel it in the morning. I feel connected in the morning, and then in the afternoon something shifts. If you are like me, this life is a stream of ups and downs. The program says ups and downs, good and bad, happy or sad. And I'm here to say that my perspective is this human journey is, I am supposed to be feeling all of these kinds of emotions. I'm supposed to be experiencing everything that has happened. And it's up to which identity am I going to focus on? And that is the topic of today's show. It is what I've been practicing for the last months now, maybe years, but identifying with who. And when I say me, myself, and I am specifically talking about the person in the mirror. That means you. That means me. And again, I don't pretend to have all the answers, even though I sound arrogant and a know-it-all, like an arrogant know-it-all. I have to say that been studying, researching this topic of happiness for 45 years. And I've narrowed it down to, listen to this one. I've narrowed it down to, hold on, happiness, inner peace, and contentment, I said earlier, are all practice skills. And like any other skill, the more you commit to the practice, the better the results. So the question to ask yourself is, are you ready to prioritize over everything else the vibration, the energy of contentment? And the first part of this practice is to gradually eliminate all of the behaviors. I'm up to 56 program behaviors that subtract from the energy of contentment. 56. And it always amazes me. And let me just, when I say me, let me be very clear. It always amazes not me, the me that is all presence and all awareness, but that person, that ego me. It always surprises me that when I ask, do you want to be happier? I mean, I've been teaching these classes, The Truth About Happiness, for over 15 years in California, in Oregon, and now at UNLV. And let me just say, when I ask the question, oh yeah, the class is full, hands are raised. Yes, I want to experience more happiness, of course. But when I share what the solution is, or what the process is, or how to transcend to a place where you are the energy of contentment, regardless of whatever is going on, oh, people go running to the hills. Why? All of the work, without exception, all of the practice, without exception, is done in the mirror. What? In fact, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm holding up a mirror right now. Ooh, this is my handmade. One of my students made this for me. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, yes, the mirror. So, how many of you, my dear audience, are rushing to the mirror for your solutions? Are rushing to the mirror for your challenges? In fact, this last week, when I was teaching the class, there was a new woman. I shared this a little bit on the show yesterday with my son. There was a brand new woman. There was a woman that came into the class, and this was the fourth week, and this was her first week attending. Oh, again, 15 years of this, every single class, without exception, for 15 years, I am met with, and I give a warning. I say, this class is going to push buttons. It's going to trigger you. You're going to hate me. I give everybody a warning. And I don't remember if I gave this new lady a warning, but she asked me, she was describing her experience in her yoga class. And she was saying that she loves yoga. She attends it regularly. And this one woman who attends the class with her, that she notices comes in the class late, sometimes talks on her phone in the class, never, she says, I'm just describing, I'm sharing what this woman said to me in the class. Doesn't listen to the instructor, doing her own thing, doing her exercises with the incorrect form. If any of you take exercise classes, you're understanding what I'm saying. Incorrect form. So this woman who just walked into my class is noticing what someone else is doing and making a judgment about it, as opposed to the practice of, here we go, acceptance of everybody, what they're doing, why they're doing it. And I shared with her, number one, you're in someone else's business. When I said 56 program behaviors, one of them is noticing and making comments and judging what other people are doing. I know it's not easy. It's not an easy practice. So that's number one. Number two, you are you are making a judgment as to what someone else should be doing. How many of you are guilty of that? Come on, be honest. How many of you are guilty of looking at what other people are doing and saying, well, they should be behaving like this? I was the queen of that. I knew what was wrong. I used to know what was wrong with everybody on this planet. Did I say that out loud? Everybody on the planet, including myself. But the practice is when you are in somebody else's business, which is not your business, it's God's business, it's the universe's business, whatever term you want to use. If you notice, I'm not big on words. Words, oh my gosh, seatbelts here. Innately, words do not have power. The programming, when you are programmed to believe words have power, guess what? They will. But the practice, if you want to get to a point where you're not going to be disappointed, you're not going to have your feelings hurt, you're not going to be offended, words cannot have power. And I'm talking about for as far as an individual. No, you can call me whatever name I've been called, the N word, the C word, the B word. I've been called so many things. And and I'm at a place right now because of the practice, 45 years of practicing. There is not one word that you can call me that I was disrespected. Well, that's another program. And I say that because when the baby is born, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 6 month, 7 month, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the baby is not offended or their feelings are not hurt. That is a learned behavior, a learned belief. And this show and my purpose and mission and destiny is to expose the programming so you, scratch the you, so that I would be able to experience more peace. And it works. It works. No one can disrespect me because that's just another program. And the other thing is taking it personally. This is so deep. The programming is so deep to take things personally. Let me go. Hold on a second. Before I get to this, I know you're waiting. Give me 2 more minutes, area code 856. Thank you for your patience. Let me get back to the programming of blaming the outside world, blaming other people, blaming circumstances for how you're feeling. That's just another program. It's not what is happening. It's your perspective and your beliefs and your judgments about what's happening. And the emotions, how about practice not labeling them? What? Not labeling an emotion? Yeah. How about practicing not labeling the emotion and just accepting the fact that you're human here and you are going to experience all different types of feelings, all different types of emotions. And can we just allow these emotions to come and go, in and out, just like clouds? They come in, they come out, and they don't stay. Nothing stays the same. So acceptance of all emotions, no matter how the ego says it feels, because the ego will give me a list of all my unwanted moments. I don't want to feel like this. No, I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like this. Fill in the blank. And how about getting to a place where you practice accepting all emotions without putting a judgment of, oh, this is a preferred emotion and this is an unwanted emotion. I know. But a quick explanation of the topic today, which is me, myself, and I. And what that means is what do you mean when you say me? What do you mean when you say my? Who are you talking about when you use the word I? Are you clear on what entity you are describing? Are you able to separate your person from your spiritualness, from your presence, from who you from that place that is constant? Can you separate? Can you practice separating yourself? When I separate and am totally aware with who I'm describing, what I'm saying, if I'm talking about my ego, it is always going to feel it is always going to be unsatisfied. And the ego is tricky. It's got many disguises. It can disguise itself as a knight in shining armor or an asshole. Either way, it's still the person. Either way, it's still the ego. So who are you talking about when you say I, me, my? And to top it off, to identify, and here we go, seatbelts, please. To identify yourself with a name, with a name, with a country, and I'm speaking for myself, with a name, with a country, with a culture. The practice is to let go of all of those man-made identities. I used to, it's just months ago, the practice of identifying with a country. And I get it, American, but it's still an identity. I'm an American, which means, what does it mean? It means that I'm limiting. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just back up. Because hold on just a second. Hold on. Got to clear my throat. Hold on. A cough is coming. Actually, that wasn't a cough. That was a clearing the throat. One of these days, I'll get one of those silent mics to turn everything off when I'm gagging and choking, coughing, and clearing my throat. But I don't have one right now. Little sip of water. Hold on. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Okay, here we go. Back to the identity. I'll give an example. I'm the only reason why I'm speaking for myself is I just don't do the we and then speaking for the whole world. No, I can only speak for this one identity that has the name of Rebecca. Rebecca, the person, has a lot of preferences. Rebecca, the person, has a lot of limited perspectives. When I say I, me, and myself, the programming is describing the Rebecca Norrington identity. And I'm here to tell you I've busted out of that. In fact, you can call me Rebecca, you can call me Betty, you can call me Sue, you can call me George, you can call me whatever you want to call me. The identity that this Rebecca Norrington person, which is, again, very limited. I didn't even know how limited she was. She is so picky about certain things. And the practice of letting go of, and not only letting go, but recognizing when I am describing or behaving or talking for Rebecca. You follow me here? This me, myself, and I. Who are you describing? Who are you giving a voice to? who are you allowing to behave in a certain way? Now, Rebecca is going to be irritated and annoyed by a lot of things. And when I identify with Rebecca, and this topic is, I've done this identity crisis topic more than once, and that's how important I believe that it is when you recognize which identity are you focusing on. Which identity are you talking about? Me, myself, and I. And if you're saying human, if you are stuck with the human identity, you will have a limited amount of peace and contentment. Let me go to my caller. My caller has been so patient. Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. I've got to lift this up, pick this up. Hold on, caller. Hold on. Click this button. Okay. And I hold on to this. Hold on, caller. I'm trying to click all these buttons at the same time. You know, when I get my engineer one of these days. Okay. And area code 856. You are live on Reality Spirituality. Boop, boop. Okay, hold on. Let's see. What is your first name? And welcome to the show. First name.
Rose Maria. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for being patient. Did you say Rose Maria or Rosemary?
Either way.
What, Rose Maria, what a beautiful name. I've never heard Rose Maria.
American way.
Okay. Well, and so see, now we're talking about names and being attached to names. Are you attached to your name, Rose Maria?
What was the word before my name?
What?
I didn't understand what you said before.
Oh, when I say Rose Maria, are you attached to that name? So meaning, does that name signify something to you, or are you okay with letting go of the attachments to the name?
I'm all right with it except for the first part of my name.
Oh, you don't like the first, what?
Rose, because of one of my grandmoms on my father's side. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So the question is, though, is your name significant in your life? Is it significant for you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is the perfect example of what I was talking about. When names become significant, they become significant to the ego, to the person. But okay, go ahead. And what is your question? And thank you for calling. And thank you again for your patience.
I've been going through a lot the last year or so, and the last month is even worse than past year. So I've been lost my job and somebody took my phone from my job, and a lot of chaos with that one. I'm still trying to fix it. And I got the new phone anyway, but that's besides the point. Looking for a new job, so I need to relocate, and long-term relationship, everything at once at the moment, and chaos with my brother.
Okay, so I'm listening to you, and I'm also feeling, I'm feeling your energy. And you came on saying you're talking about focusing on all of the things that you believe in. And when I say you, the ego, the person believes that there's something wrong. Focusing on what's wrong, correct?
Not as much as that. I know what's wrong with my brother and why he's doing the chaos after my father passed away a year ago next month. I'm over it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. How old is your brother?
48.
Okay, so I get this bad rap of just being so callous and no feelings. Quite frankly, your brother, unless he's causing any kind of danger to a child, is none of your business. Oops, did I say that out loud? And when I say none of your business, I'm not talking about not not wanting the best for him, or not wanting him to find another perspective or another way of living. But know that one of the things that I do, because I've got a few people in my life that are family that are going through whatever they're going through too. But I also practice knowing that their journey is their journey. And anytime I'm focused on my family member, whether it's a female or a male, guess what? I'm not looking in the mirror. The mirror is there for me to discover what I need to do and what I need to practice. So I heard what you said earlier. Give me, if you feel inspired, give me, I'm going to say 5, only just to overload you. Give me 5 things that what you're going through are a positive, you can see is a positive outcome, or you can see it positive as opposed to negative, because all I heard is negative. So let me hear what you're going through, what positive things that you can find from it.
From it, forgetting cough out my care, my equalness, where I'm at, because he left the property without me knowing about it and where he went. Like, for him not to, I'm for him not to sue him. And, yeah, I come to get my fair share, if that makes sense. And so I can move on and get out where I'm at the house. So, too much memories here, and what else? And find my long-term partner, and so I can open my business with them. What else? So I can get what I'm needing and all that happy stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. So let me phrase the question a little, because my question wasn't phrased properly. So what is positive that you can come up with in the present moment? You know, you did a so that I can. I'm talking about in the present moment. Just give me 3 things that you can focus on that is going to shift your energy from the energy that you are experiencing now. 3 things. Present moment.
To get my to relocate with a job for positive. I'm ready to move on to a different country and before I leave, get my equal share where I'm at with my brother. That's my outcome. That's about it.
Okay. How often do you laugh? You don't feel like a laugher to me.
With all the chaos and losing my parents within 3 years from each other, that's just bringing me down, and my brother on top of that. So it's like that's what not making me. I changed like for the better. I noticed myself like changing, not as nervous or not as upset. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That does make sense.
So I was actually, matter of fact, my destiny to person. Like I just said it right before I called in. I said he's my destiny, my long-term partner. That's overseas right now. I just left him a message. I'm like, I'm ready to move on, get out of the chaos where I'm at, and with a job, and do what I need to do, come back to work, and if you knows anybody that's mainly my field, what I usually do, my normal trend for the military. So and I was like laughing after that. I'm like, that's not laughing, like laughing and smiling at the same time. I'm like, and he knows it, that I'm ready to come back.
Okay. Yes, it does make sense. And so my perspective is, and this is just for myself also, is that whenever I'm feeling whenever I'm in a place, number one, where I'm believing a story, which is everything that you were describing is external, and you talked about chaos and get out of the chaos. I'm here to tell you that all of the chaos. Already, I'm sending you this with the hug. All the chaos and all of that comes from comes from within first. However I view the world, I'm speaking, if I'm viewing the world as chaotic and in disorder, then that starts with me. That starts with my disorder. That starts with my chaos. It doesn't matter where I'm going to live. It doesn't matter where I am. I could be in a jail cell. I can be in the middle of the forest with a creek running. It doesn't matter where you are. The external factors have nothing to do with how you're vibrating or how you are, or your energy. It doesn't. But that is a program to believe that it's the external things that are making me unhappy. It's so you're in any moment, you're either vibrating a sense of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. And it sounds like that you're vibrating dissatisfaction. And if you are vibrating dissatisfaction in your present moment, make sure to know that your dissatisfaction is going to carry on into your future moments. Just because something happens and it's all lined up, okay, so you're with your partner, you're in another town, all of this that the ego wants me to believe that, oh, if none of this was happening, I'd feel better. That's just not the truth. It's internal job first. Internally.
Right.
So my perspective is to practice what good is coming from this. And when I don't know, when I can't comprehend, when I don't see what's good, what good is happening when I'm being challenged, I trust for sure. I practice trusting that I know something that whatever is going on is there for my betterment, is there to serve me, whether it feels like it or not. So whatever anyone is going through, this is my humble opinion, which doesn't sound too humble, that whatever you're going through, it's not the challenge itself. There is something deeper. There is something more of meaning. Because if it's happening, it's supposed to happen. But my ego will put a story to it and say, well, this is the reason why I'm not feeling good. And I'm here to say, no. If even the people that have won the lottery, I don't know, millions and millions of dollars, it's not anything external that's going to settle or calm a soul down or bring contentment to a soul. That's my 2 cents. And I really appreciate you calling. Wow, what a great call. What a great call. Okay, so if you want to speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. Let's get back into that a little bit. Cuz Rosemaria, that's her name, Rosemaria. The point is the practice is to pay attention to which entity is dissatisfied, which entity wants something other than what the present moment is presenting. Which entity is that? And I'm stressing it. I'm stressing it because there is an answer. When I am falling into this human person, there is always something to complain about. Rebecca finds something to complain about all the time. But I know that's all Rebecca can do. And in fact, the ego can be used for a predict. Now, let me just back up. I'm not hating on the ego, but it has its positives, which is it's good for productivity. It's good to keep me safe. But it's impossible to access one's true identity through the ego. So the practice is transcending the ego identity, transcending the me, the my, the I. transcending it and knowing the difference, and witnessing, scratch that knowing, and then also witnessing. I witnessed Rebecca's behavior. Oh my goodness. This poor Rebecca can find discontent in every minute of the day. She can. It's her nature. So there's a certain amount of transcending that Rebecca can do, but that's all. When I say the human side, I'm sharing with it. I practice letting go of that humanness, and it is constant. So it's true that what you believe is what you believe, but is what you believe necessarily the truth? When you say I, when you say my body, my life, my job, my friends, or you say I, are you aware of what identity you are focused on? That's the number one question. It's a concept that I practice awareness, witnessing, without attaching to the ego, without attaching to the ego's wants and the ego's desires. And in fact, goals, intentions, agendas. Does God have an agenda, an intention? Or is the universe just present? A presence that has no beginning and no end. And know that you are that presence. That's the real identity. I know this human identity, it's here for 2 seconds, not even a second, a blink, and it's going to be over. But the identity that I'm focusing on now is the one that is always present, always presence, always content, always content. Hold on. Content is a man-made word. Always in flow. Always shifting, always changing. No judgment. That's the place. That's the place that I practice living and staying. Is it an easy practice? You know, you didn't come here to get easy. It's not easy. However, when you begin to practice more and more, and I'm not talking about just minutes of the day, all the time, being aware of who you are identifying with, the me, the my, the I. Well, I did, and I said, you want more contentment? Let go of those. Let go of the ego, let go of the person, let go of this human. There is a purpose, but it's not the ultimate purpose, which is to remind, this is my perspective, which is to remind me who I really am on this journey. Makes sense? The me, the my, the I. Oh, it's me, it's it's I, my job, my life. Now, you're bigger than that. Scratch the bigger. More, it's deeper than that. Any questions or any comments? Does anybody want to join me on Noom Vibe? Or you can call in and speak with me live. Area code 646-564-9619, area code 646-564-9619. And you know what? I've been teaching the classes for 15 years, but the study about this happiness, 45 years. And what I've learned, and there's no judgment on it anymore, but what I've learned is some people just like to chat, like to talk about what's wrong, talk about solutions, but actively practicing something different, making a different choice, making a different decision, doing something that is uncomfortable is not too often practiced. It's easy to talk about what's wrong. The world does it. And when I say what's wrong, I'm using air quotes here, because how you describe the world and how you perceive the world is a reflection of you. Did I say that out loud? It's a reflection. So if you see problems, if you see disorder, if you see something needs to be changed, and I'm not talking about, oh, just let everything go. Oh yes, human trafficking, just let it go. It's in order. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there is a reason and a purpose for all of this. Not to say that you can't take action and do what you feel you are inspired to do, but know that there is a purpose for all of that, regardless of whether or not I can understand it. And my ego, my little teeny small understanding ego can only fit in not even a thumbnail. But what the ego does is put together a story and try to convince me that the story that the ego has just created is real, is the only perspective. I'm here to tell you, if you're not practicing at least 10 different perspectives with one challenge, you got homework. Okay, last call. Last call, area code 646-564-9619 or Noom Vibe. Last call. Me, myself, and I. Who are you talking about? Me, myself, and my story. And letting go of the stories, it just frees up. It just frees up a lot of time. And also letting go of the story is an indication that no, ego, you are losing your power. You are losing your focus. You are losing your ability to have me identify with you. That's 98% right there. Identifying with your presence, identifying with the part of you that is eternal. Identify with that, as opposed to identifying with this humanness. Okay. Well, that's the end of today's show. I want to thank you for listening to Reality Spirituality Radio, which is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And now, Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense plus more is live every Saturday at 9:15 on my YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. Visit my website, RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. LinkedIn, my Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. The YouTube channel is coming along. There's still, thumbnails, titles. I have a gentleman working with me. Thank goodness, because how long have I been saying the YouTube channel is a work in progress? Years. But the truth is, when it's time for something to change, for something to shift, it will happen. I can't speed it up. I can't slow it down. I can't stop it from happening. Life is about accepting the unfolding of whatever the plan is. And I say God, universe, source, higher power, doesn't matter the term. Are you able to hands off the steering wheel? Are you able to accept and be okay and vibrate in peace with uncertainty? Are you able to, I know the world doesn't want, the world, you got to have a goal, you have to have plans, but you have to have a 6-month goal, 5-year goal. No, I have a 1-moment goal, which is how to practice staying in the moment. That's my one goal, staying in the present moment, and just be amazed and trust that everything that happens after that is a divine plan. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon. That was published in 2014. And my latest book, where is it? My latest book, the one program, here it is. Program for Unhappiness. I am holding it up. Program for Unhappiness is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Lulu. Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, Series 1 of 5. And in fact, the next 2 books, one of them is going to be Program Relationships, and the other one is just questions that not a lot of people want to answer. Backing up, until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You are God having a human experience. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving and always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Remember, the practice is to accept where you are in every moment. You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. That's a quote from Abraham Hicks. You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, happiness specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington, which is just a name. Just a name. You can call me whatever you want. Remember, happiness is a practice skill. And I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you're going to find. And every moment that you experience reflects on what you practice. Thank you for listening. Have a conscious week.
Got a question for RLN? Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you're gonna feel good.